Hello and welcome to Online Biology, Introductory Biology for Non-Majors. I'm Mrs. Foes. I'm the instructor for this course this summer, and I hope you're ready to have a great time learning biology. Okay, so if you made it to the video, you've made it into our course, you've seen the announcements. I'll post announcements each Monday, and it'll be a reminder of what's due this week and any other additional information you might need. So that's where you'll come into the course. And then you went to getting started. So this video will basically just show a little bit about how the course will work. I'll talk a little bit about the syllabus, and then you'll be on your way. And if you have any more questions, please email and ask. Okay, so when you go into getting started, you saw this video. It's not in there yet because I'm making it right now. And the video will be on top. Then you'll see Instructor Information. That is my email address. Over the summer, I will be in the office somewhat, but not regularly, and I don't have office hours. The easiest way to contact me is email. And I try to respond to email within 2 business days. So if you email me on a Friday, it might take me over until Monday. So the sooner you can get your questions in, the faster I will get back to you. The next link is to Sky's academic calendar. What you're going to be interested in here is our summer calendar. I've also got this in the syllabus, but basically, we've got 5 weeks. 5 weeks from you starting this class till you taking your final and me grading your final. So it's going to be really quick. We'll have multiple chapters due each week. You will need to be well organized and manage your time well to complete the course successfully and retain some of the information. You have until May 31st to withdraw from this course. And you have until June 15th to take your final. Okay. Next, I posted a video that's pretty fun about making your study time more efficient. And then in our syllabus, we'll look at the course competencies, but I also have them here and what chapters are going to achieve those course competencies. It's important that you understand the chapters that we pick is based on important biological concepts that will help you achieve the knowledge that you are expected to require through this course. So first you'll look at the scientific method in Chapter 1, basic cell functions, essential life, 3 to 7. Pretty much every chapter you'll have critical thinking questions and apply it into practical application for daily life. Especially in our later chapters, you'll see that. Evolutionary relationships, we've got our intro chapter, then our how populations evolve, plants and animals. Relationship to humans and life, and then heredity. So our mid-chapters will be on genetics. And I've also got this link on plagiarism and how to avoid it. It's really important if you take any information from another source that you cite it. Even if you don't quote it word for word, you still have to give that source credit for where you got the information from. Okay, cool. And I don't care which citation style your citations are in, AP or MLA. If you do not cite a source and I find it from somewhere else, you will receive a 0. Okay. So the next thing we have is syllabus with calendar. So when you click into there, it'll open your syllabus. There's my contact information, additional college contacts. If for some reason something's going on and you need help on campus, or if you haven't heard from me in like a week, Amy Hurt would be the one to go to. Course description and structure, it's online. No required prereqs, but if you don't have a strong background in reading and writing, you will not be successful. Okay, so required textbooks. This course has what's called a course fee. You have already been charged this course fee. It went directly to your account. So you already have access to the online materials. You can get a hard copy of the textbook from our bookstore or from online, and I do recommend doing that. It's nice to have a hard copy. And with the online text, you got to click page to page, and if you're looking for something, that can be very frustrating. There's the course competencies. So I'm not going to go through the whole syllabus with you. You'll need to look it over. I'll point out a few important things for you. So for an online course, you need access to a computer. You need to be able to use Blackboard and our course website. If you do not have easy access to a computer with internet access, I do not recommend taking this class at this time. You will need to be signing in every week at least once, more likely multiple times. And announcements will also be sent out as email, so please track your email. Proctored exams. There is a proctored exam for this course that you will have to take at a proctored exam site. Some sort of proctoring center. We have some through SkyCTC. The additional KCTCS schools, like all the Kentucky Community Technical Colleges, they have proctoring sites. Or I do accept others, such as libraries or military sites, depending on a case-by-case scenario, where I would give them information, but they'd have to be ready to proctor. Okay. And you'll be able to start signing up for proctored exams June 1st. Student Code of Conduct. On those. Email standards and etiquette. Please use proper email etiquette when emailing me. Please use full sentences. Be polite. Have a heading. Give your email title something that helps me understand what you're asking about. Bio 112 Summer. Question about Chapter 1. Question whatever. And the better your email, the more easily I understand it, the more easy it will be for me to help you. And how it reflects upon you in this course. When we don't meet together, your emails and your online work are the only things I have to get an understanding of who you are. So there's a funny email cartoon. Sign your name, don't abbreviate. And please, I can't stress it enough, be polite. When in doubt, go extra nice. So for our course time management, you are completing a course that generally students do in 16 weeks. It's the same content, you have the same requirements because you're getting the same credit. So we've cut that time down into less than a third, which means that each week you're going to have 3 times or so the amount of work that a student taking this full semester would have. So in general, they calculate that face-to-face classes or online during the semester take about 135 hours based on in-class time and and homework time. So hopefully you won't take that much, but it can take up to that much time. And you need to put in time to make sure that you understand and retain the information. So that means that you could be spending about 20 hours a week on this class, which would be a lot, and it is. But basically, taking 2 online classes is the same as taking a full semester load in a regular semester. So please make sure you have the time to do well in this. What I find is that either students do amazing or they don't do too much. There's very little in the middle. So set yourself up for success. Know the expectations and be ready to understand how you can reach those. And I can't stress this enough, if you're having difficulty, please let me know. I can't help you if you don't reach out to me. I can't give you advice. We can't talk about the best ways for you to be successful in this course if you don't discuss it with me. So grading about 650 points in the semester. Grades will be posted about a week or so after their due date. I'll look at that with you when we look at the online website. And this is big. So the roster verification, basically, if you don't sign in and do the syllabus assignment, it's considered a no-show for the course, which means I drop you. And that's for the best. Because when students do get dropped, if they ask, before they would ask and I would let them back in, they failed every single time, without exception. So I will not do that anymore. If you miss getting the syllabus quiz in by Tuesday night, you're out of the class. It's better for you. You won't get charged for it. It won't hurt your GPA. It's the best thing for all of us. Okay. So online, we'll look at how the test and quiz setup works. We'll look at discussion boards. Awesome. And so this is our calendar. So how I have it is each week, it gives the dates of that week, what is due in MyLabs Plus, and then if we have anything due in Blackboard. And you'll notice that the first syllabus quiz I have due Tuesday, like I discussed, to show if you will be attending the course or not. If you don't do it on time, you will be dropped from the course. And then you've got Chapter 1 and 2 assignment. If it's not cited as something other than Sunday at midnight, everything is due on Sunday at midnight. So by the 21st at midnight. So Chapter 1, Chapter 2, and Intro Discussion Board. If you wait till the 21st to do this, you will be stressed out. So then in week 2, you've got your first quiz, and then you've got some more assignments. And we'll look at that in Blackboard. Okay, let's go back to Blackboard. So next you've got our MyLabs Plus. I'm going to open that. So what happens when you open MyLabs Plus is if you right-click and open in a new tab, that's better because it launches it into a new, it launches it on top of Blackboard. So if you don't open it in a new tab, it'll go over top of Blackboard. Let's open it here. Okay, and what you'll come in on is our course home. The most important thing here is this course calendar. So that has all of your assignments, and they should be available to you. And you can go in and out of these assignments as many times as you want, and it will save your work as you go. So if I click in and I say, oh, I don't know the answer to this, you can go on to the next item and come back. You can open it up another day. You're good. If you guess and it's wrong, each time you make a guess and you're wrong, it takes off of part of the points for that question. So if you get it right the first time, it's 100%. You lose 15% each try that you get wrong. So if you take 5 times to answer it, you'll get about 50% credit. It's not worthwhile. If you get it wrong the first time, pause and look up the answer. I can see what students do, like how long they spend on each question and when they submit. So if I see you got a failing grade on a question, I can see what you submitted and when. And oftentimes I'll see that someone will submit an answer and 2 seconds later they'll submit the next one, and then 2 seconds after that or 4 seconds after that the next one. There's no way you thought about it enough to do that. Maybe if you were between 2 and the second one was right, cool. But otherwise, take a second. Clicking through and putting an answer quickly will not serve you well in this course. Okay. Cool. And then I can see how much time students spend on there when they were in there. And each one will have essays. So I'll go back to student view. The first thing that you have to do that students seem to not like very much is write essays. And I know it's not very fun. But I took an online course, and I found the only things I retained the information on were things that I wrote about. So you have to be able to take what's in the text and write it in a paragraph form. And so for the first few assignments, I'll give you lots of feedback about your summaries and if they are worth 100% or if you lose some credit. And if you lose credit, I'll tell you why. Or I'll tell you next time be sure to do this, otherwise you'll lose credit there. So the first thing that you do is a paragraph summarizing the important points of the chapter. If you just list, this chapter covered these 5 points, you'll probably get about 25 to 50% credit. What you need to do for full credit is to say this chapter was on this topic. It covered this point, which is about this, that point on this, and they relate together by this. You know, you'll have to make those connections. And then 3 interesting things you learned in this chapter. Sometimes students will just say 3 topics in the chapter, like, I learned about homozygous recessive, heterozygous dominant, and X-linked genes. Which, I mean, some of those are actually pretty cool. But a lot of the times they'll pick things that aren't very fun. And I don't think they actually found them interesting. I just think they put 3 things down from the chapter. So it's really nice when students say, I didn't know about this thing. And it's something different and neat from the chapter that you really did think was interesting. And then part C is, after you did the homework, what part did you struggle with? What did you do to learn it? So basically, I want to make sure that you're making progress. If you're having any setback, what are you doing to fix it? And especially for the first chapters, if you didn't find an effective way to learn, often I'll comment with, hey, check out this lecture video or check out this link. This has really good info there that might help you. Awesome. Okay. Cool. I'll go back to the course home. This lecture video is going longer than I wanted it to. So try not to get too overwhelmed by the list of things on here. Some of these chapters are really short. They're based on their length. Each of them should be about an hour long on average, based on previous students, and it says how long they take to answer questions on average. And you'll see that after a week of work, you'll have a quiz. So we covered chapter 1 and 2 here. You've got a quiz. And what I would like to do with this is to give you unlimited attempts, but I can't do that. I can only give one attempt. So it's usually, the quiz is a pool of about 70 to 100 questions from those chapters, and you'll get 20 of them. Just a random 20 out of those possible 100. And so each attempt, when you clear it and you do it again, it's a new 20. So what I have is I have 2 attempts listed, and I will take your best score. If you do both of these and you're not happy with your score, email, and I will reset these so you can do them again. Everyone should do really well on their quizzes. Okay. What about late work, you say? Well, let me tell you. So your homework is due Sunday by midnight Central Time. And let's say you had a computer problem. I will not extend your deadline. But each day late, you lose 20% of the credit you earned. So if you got 100% here, if you did that on Monday, you would get 80% credit. Tuesday, 60%. Wednesday, 40%. Thursday, 20%. And by Friday, it's 0. So our grades don't transfer automatically from this site into Blackboard. So I will wait until this point for sure before transferring grades. I'll allow people to get all the credit they can. Usually I'll put in grades either that weekend or the following Monday. So it does take a little while to transfer over, but you can still see what you got on these in here. But because I'm transferring these by hand, I am a human person. I do make mistakes. So please be checking your grades in Blackboard to make sure they accurately reflect your work in here. Okay? If you tell me after I entered final grades that I got one wrong, oh, that sucks. So keep up with it. Check it every once in a while. Okay? You'll notice in June, the first week, you'll have to put in your proctoring information, June 4th. And so June 1st, proctoring at our school is available. I will have information for you on that in Blackboard. And I will send you out a reminder announcement the previous Monday. Cool. Discussion boards, we'll have 3 discussion boards. You'll do your first intro discussion board this week. About halfway through, you'll do a progress report, how things are going, what's working well. I find it's really nice for students to discuss with each other what they're doing that works well. I think it's great. And then a reflection, how did the course go? Are you happy with what happened here? Okay. Next, you've got the chapter content. So for each chapter, you've got 3 things to help you. You have a PowerPoint. You have student notes. And you have lecture videos. So I've gone through for each chapter, and I've recorded lectures. Watching a 45-minute lecture, or even just a 15-minute segment, will save you so much time. I can't express how much time you will save, how much better you will understand the material when you hear it talked about and discussed. And I give extra examples. I really cannot stress enough the importance of putting in that extra work beforehand to make your life so much easier when you're doing the homework. Really, please watch the videos. Watch the videos, watch the videos, watch the videos. And you'll have the PowerPoint there to go along with it. So if you want to print the PowerPoint out, take notes over it as I'm talking, that's great. Or the other way you can take notes You can always print these out if you have a printer. You can go to our school Monday through Thursday and print. When you do that, it'll print all pages of slides, one per slide, which is terrible. So switch it to like 3 slides and notes. I like to remove the frame there so that I can take more notes and do arrows. Okay, cool. So I will close that. And I'll open up the notes. So this is basically the Word form of the PowerPoint. And there are blanks so you can write them in to keep you engaged while you're listening. These are great notes to take. They'll help you answer all the questions. They'll help you study for your final. It'll be great. I highly recommend using those resources that you have. Cool. If you have any trouble opening anything or getting things to work, please let me know. Additional resources. On campus, the library is open Monday through Thursday. In the community, there's some different resources through organizations that you can check out there. And for biology, you will always have more help for biology than you could ever use. There's lots of videos. You've got my lecture videos, and then crash course videos are good. There's lots of great YouTube channels, and these links are wonderful. Cool. And then for Blackboard services, if you ever have any questions or you need help. Great. Okay. So this is the main content. This definitely went longer than I wanted it to. I'm sorry. Hopefully the extra info has helped you. I wish you the best of luck in this course. Please keep in touch. I'll be giving feedback. Please look at the feedback. And if you have any questions, ask. I don't know you. I don't know what's going on in your life. I can't help you if you're struggling with the topic unless you talk to me. So please, 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 it's your responsibility as a student to ask for help if you need it. I'm more than happy to. I love to discuss everything. And I'll send out announcements. Have a great time. Good luck. These weeks are going to go so fast. Bye.